Today, we're covering one of the most common questions I receive. What exactly does a nonprofit treasurer do? Hi, I'm Teresa Clark, and I'm a seasoned CPA with over 30 years of experience serving 501c3 nonprofits. I've experienced both as an external CPA doing audits and an internal CFO to organizations. And I'm here to serve you, so you can learn more by going to teresaclark.com. The role of a nonprofit treasurer is one of the most critical positions on your board. It's about far more than just balancing the books. Whether your organization is entirely volunteer-led or has a full finance staff, the treasurer plays a key role in protecting your nonprofit's financial health. So what exactly does a nonprofit treasurer do? Well, at its core, the treasurer's responsibilities come down to this: safeguard the nonprofit's financial assets and ensure transparency, accuracy, and accountability. Okay, let's break that down into a few key areas. The first one is financial oversight and reporting. The treasurer ensures the organization has accurate, up-to-date financial records. I mean, that seems easy, but here's what I'll tell you. It's a more common problem than you know. Now, they don't have to do the bookkeeping themselves, especially in a larger organization, but they do need to understand the numbers. They need to ask smart questions, and they need to ensure the financial statements are up-to-date, reliable, and complete. Now, here's some things that this would include: reviewing and presenting financial reports to the board, ensuring proper maintenance of the financial records, overseeing financial forecasts and helping the board interpret that financial data so that it's forward-looking and good for decision-making. Number 2 is budget leadership. The treasurer often plays a role in drafting or reviewing or maybe just approving the annual budget, especially in a smaller nonprofit that doesn't have a finance committee. At the board level, others often look at the treasurer as the financial voice of reason. They're going to defer to that person. So this person needs to help the board feel confident that the budget's realistic and that's aligned with the mission priority. Number 3 is internal controls and financial policies. Even in a nonprofit that has staff handling the day-to-day transactions, the treasurer is responsible for making sure that there are actually internal controls in place and that they're working. These are your checks and balances. It's the processes you use to prevent errors, fraud, and even mismanagement. Now, here's some of what that could include. Asking questions like, who approves the expenses? How is cash handled when it comes in our doors? What kind of documentation do we require and maintain for spending? And also whether the organization is actually still following its own financial policies. It's not a policy if it's not being enforced. So inspect what you expect. Number 4, compliance and filing requirements. Okay, this is a big one. Actually a bigger responsibility than it sounds like. The treasurer can help the organization comply with all of those filings. And the first question just is, what are they? Maybe you're required to file a Form 990 with the IRS, a state charitable registration, or an annual report to your state. You have payroll and tax requirements, and you have other legal financial obligations that are tied to your tax exempt status. Now, the treasurer doesn't necessarily file all of these things, but they really should be the one asking, have we submitted all of our reports on time? And that begins with knowing what needs to be filed and by when. Number 5 is leadership presence. While the treasurer's role may vary based on your nonprofit's size and structure, one thing remains the same. The treasurer must stay informed and involved. They don't need to do all the hands-on work themselves, but they are responsible for oversight. In many cases, that makes them one of the most trusted and influential voices on the board. In closing, let's be reminded that the specific duties of a nonprofit treasurer may look different depending on the size of your organization and your staffing. But the responsibility to oversee financial health of the organization is non-negotiable. So whether your treasurer is hands-on with the books or simply guiding from a governance level, make sure they have the knowledge, experience, and the time needed to fulfill this really important role. Now, if you need a little help getting started, I've created a free financial task checklist to help nonprofit leaders organize those weekly, monthly, and annual responsibilities. I've linked to it in the description of this video. And do you need more support? Well, for many nonprofits, like rapidly growing churches facing big decisions about expansion, capital campaigns, or staffing, simply having a good finance team it's not enough. And the churches and other nonprofits that I work with, it's very common to find a wonderful team doing excellent work handling the day-to-day. But sometimes there's lack in the experience or expertise for higher level strategic planning and that forward financial leadership. And that's where CFO services come in. As a fractional CFO, I'm not replacing or duplicating anything that the finance team does to look back at the finances and keep the books in order. It's very important work. Instead, I bring my 30 years of experience in nonprofit leadership as a strategic partner with the board and the executive team and the staff, using financial data to tell a story, to spot the trends early on, and to build a roadmap that'll help that organization go from where they are now to where they want to be in that 1, 5, or even 10-year mark. A fractional CFO can work alongside your treasurer and your executive leadership to strengthen the internal controls, help provide those accurate and timely financial reports, to lead the budgeting and forecasting conversations, and to ensure that you're in compliance with those important regulations. And most importantly, will offer strategic financial insight that'll support decision-making for your future. If your organization's going through a transition or even experiencing rapid growth, or maybe just ready for a higher level of financial leadership, let's talk. Click the link in the description of this video to learn more, and I look forward to serving you.